luck with that. OK, the big story of the day is that pop star Robbie Williams has confessed he was once possibly 24 hours from death after taking a cocktail of prescription pills. Speaking for the first time about this in detail, he says he has an addictive personality, but also claims, I think there are loads of examples out there of people who have come through it. It can be done if you want it. So, are some people more prone to addictive behaviour than others?
Do you think it's a personality thing? Because I know lots of people who've got addictive personalities. I personally haven't got one, and I feel lucky that I haven't. You know, I can have one glass of wine and that's it, put the cork back in. I can have one chocolate from a box. My mother, if we open a box of chocolates, that's it. They're all gone. You might as well
Isn't that just lack of self-control?
I don't know. Mother, is it a lack of self-control? I have no idea. Is it? I honestly don't know. I think some people just have... It's different personalities. I've just got a personality where I can say, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't think that's very good for me. But I know a lot of people.
Do you think some people have almost like an off switch? My mum calls it, oh, my little bell goes and I know that's enough. And that's with everything, whether it's a big meal or a drink or actually not with cigarettes, but everything else. But do you think some people don't have that little switch?
No, I think everyone has that, but some people choose to ignore it. And I do actually think that a lot of the time it is a choice. All these things are choices. Now, Robbie, you know, people won't thank him for saying that. They won't thank him for saying that actually, if you really want to stop doing anything, you can do it if you want to. And actually, that's true. You know, otherwise, nobody would be able to give up anything. You know, you can become addicted to things for whatever reason, but if you really, really want to give them up, you can. You know, and people always have a go at me.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? Once you're addicted to something, Carol. I mean, smokers, I know a lot of smokers who find it extremely difficult.
I know, no one says it's easy.
It's difficult. You said self-control, actually. That's quite interesting, because it's the beginning where the problem starts. You know, if we're all sat here and one person has 2 chocolates and somebody else just has the one and somebody else... Why is it that one personality hasn't got that self-control? Is it the way they were brought up? Is it that we're not taught self-control? Is it that we are... You know, do you see what I mean? So that's rather... But once you are addicted to something, it's very difficult. Well, it's not impossible.
Do you think it then becomes a physical thing or a mental thing as opposed to a personality thing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, then I think you're in the area of... Is it addiction or is it mind over matter? Because a lot of addiction is in your head.
Well, I agree. And because nobody's getting your hand and going, have another chocolate and forcing you to do it. It is a choice, and it comes from here. You know, whether or not you like yourself for carrying on eating all the chocolates or smoking all the cigarettes or drinking all the drinks, that's another thing. You know, if you can't live with yourself when you do those sorts of things, then you want to stop it, you can. I just think that a lot of people blame an addictive personality. I don't think it's got anything to do with personality. I think people are too quick to make excuses for their own behaviour because they don't know how to control it.
Well, exactly. But then I think some people... What we're saying, I agree to disagree with you on the point.
He's saying you can
give it up. You can stop it. Yes, no, I'm with you on that. It's the kind of person... Why is that some people feel drawn into doing certain things that other people don't?
Well, it might have something to do with self-esteem. I think if you don't have that much respect for yourself and you do lack self-esteem, then you might treat yourself badly.
Yes.
You know, you might overeat, you might smoke too much, drink too much.
Or does it come down to quite a basic thing, as you know, right from in the beginning when you're a child, you get some children who really delight in being naughty, and you know, taking something that they shouldn't, and there are some that go, oh no, you can't do that, Mum will tell us off. You know, maybe it's from that small. Some people are just more predisposed to doing something that maybe is you know, having a little puff behind the bike shed.
The naughty child might not be the person who feels addicted, who wants to go on. It's the naughty child that gives it actually to the child that wasn't going to smoke, that finds out that actually they're then a smoker.
Yeah, because and a lot of people say, oh, you know, I can't give up smoking, and I always think, well, actually you can just stop doing it. You know, you might not have the power or you do have to want to. You really have to want to. Whereas if you like smoking, you want to carry on doing it, then carry on doing it. But people do say, I can't give that up. And you know, what Robbie's saying is right.
Anything ever that you've found very, very difficult to give up?
Well, you know, I gave up smoking and it wasn't pleasant. You know, I could feel my body withdrawing, you know, from the nicotine, which, you know, I suppose if you can call it an addiction. I don't call it an addiction because I didn't get addicted to it by accident. When I started smoking when I was very, very young, I hated it. It was horrible. It made me feel sick, but I was determined to be a smoker. So I carried on smoking until I enjoyed it. And actually, that is what addiction's about. Most of the time, it is a choice. You can't say, I've got an addictive personality, therefore I'm going to be addicted to something and I can't give it up, because you can.
OK, time for a final